Well, what's up, gamers? Today we've got a tutorial for you to check out Poseidon, aka Poseidon, God of the Oceans. I'm Fedboy, I'm your host today. Before we get started, let's give a shout out to our channel partners, STARFORGE SYSTEMs, Surfshark VPN, and Advanced GG. Check out the links in the profile for discounts and deals. It helps me out, it helps out my channel sponsors. Very upfront about it, so please support me and the channel. On advancedgg.com, please use the code FEDBOY to get 10% off your order at checkout. So let's get started. Poseidon's passive is Changing Tide. Successfully hit basic attacks to gain tide. You have increased movement speed, and your abilities do additional damage based on the amount of tide you have. Using abilities decreases tide. So hitting basic attacks will help build tide up, and then when you use abilities, it brings your tide down. In this way, Poseidon's kit is based around his basic attacks as a way to build up tide, and the abilities getting the benefits from tide, hitting harder and doing more effects. For his first ability, we have Tidal Surge. Summon a wave dealing magical damage and knock back enemies. Activate while Trident is active to send out 2 additional waves. Subsequent wave hits deal 50% less damage. The tide costs 15%. And these waves pass through everything. This is a good thing to know because let's say you're chasing someone and they use an escape like a dash under, or a jump over a wall. And since you don't have one of those at present time, you can't catch them. Throw this through the wall, you might get a kill, you might not. You might be able to hit them on the way out, but just know that this can go through walls. Second ability is called Trident. Activate your Trident and getting increased attack speed, movement speed, and basic attack damage while activated the Tidal Surge. And basic attacks fire 2 additional shots. The additional basic attack shots apply ability damage and trigger ability on hit effects. All basic attack shots increase tide on successful hit. This ability does not cost tide. So this is your battle stem. This is what will increase your attack speed, move speed, basic attack damage, but also this is your way to build up tide a lot faster than just hitting basic attacks normally. So use this as a way to kind of get your combos to their max effect and make the most out of all your hits. Third ability is called Whirlpool. Summon a Whirlpool, crippling, vortexing, and dealing magical damage repeatedly to enemies in an area tide cost is -15. So this is Poseidon's CC ability. It's really potent if you think about all the effects you're getting in here because you're dealing damage, you're crippling, which means players cannot use their escape. They have beads or talisman, of course they can then escape after that using their abilities, but also the key is the cripple plus the vortex. So the vortex is going to slowly pull them into the center. If you're lucky to get somebody in the center of this and they don't have beads, they're probably screwed. It's just a great way to set up for the other abilities, but just know that between your Whirlpool and your Tidal Surge, you have a bunch of ways to CC at the enemy. In fact, all of his damaging abilities have some sort of CC, because now we can go to his final one, which is Release the Kraken. Summon the Kraken, dealing magical damage and slowing enemies in its area. Enemies in the center area, when it spawns, will take increased magical damage and are stunned and knocked up. So not only are they unable to use abilities, but knocking them up in the air will displace them for a short period of time. The tide cost is 20%. Knowing all of this, Poseidon is a int scaling god. You want to bring up your intelligence in order to get the most out of his kit. For basic attacks, you can add strength, but for the most part, you'll be building intelligence. Alrighty, let's head on over to the jungle practice. Okay, so for this demonstration, I'm going to bring down the cooldown reductions just so you can see what he's like with max cooldown, and the final one, which is World Stone, giving that decrease to the ultimate. I'm just getting some
good to
things
have
here.
on hand. This
All
will
right,
turn the
20,
tide of battle.
Put abilities in so we can see these in action. Let's get our old buddy Amir over to 20. Give him an inventory. So when playing this Poseidon to start, you're going to want your one first, which is going to be your Tidal Surge to help clear early game, get the wave, get the wave out, and then as your main damaging ability and CC. So obviously if you get aggressed on by a jungler early, you want to be able to knock them back, give yourself space, but also give them some damage, and then clear out any minions on both the jungle side that you're trying to get and the wave that's coming down your lane. Pretty standard. So let's give it an old shot here. First I'm going to show you just by itself. As you can see, that was one wave. Now let's go ahead and hit R2, and you'll see it creates two smaller waves. Now these go pretty far, just for the sake of practice right now. I'm going to turn the cooldowns on so you can see. And they spread out quite nicely. So that way, if you have enemies coming from different directions, this is a great way to push them off versus just a singular wave going down the middle. Okay, now to see Trident. So let's get our old buddy Amir back to full health. So Trident. Activate Trident, getting all the attack speed, movement speed, basic attack damage, etc. They apply ability damage and trigger ability on hit effects. So I'm going to hit 2. We're going to check. I'm just going to do the visual first. So you can see my movement speed is now 503. My attack speed is now 1.44. This is going to be a great way to build up Tide. So let's hit this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And as you can see, it took. I'm almost full. Just do one more for 10. See the full title filling bar at the bottom there, next to the Godhead. But if you guys notice, when I hit Trident, there were 2 extra waves. So let's check this out again. And just a quick showing, we're gonna burn all the Tide down by 50%. It'll take a second. Say Fred Boy, I was only hitting 1 there in that last one. Well, what if we hit all 3? Oh look, it fills up faster. So yes, if you are hitting on all 3 of those waves, you actually try to each one goes towards your Tide filling. Alrighty, let's get Ymir back up. Let's get him over here, and then we're going to throw in the Vortex. I'm going to add a couple more bots to show how this works. So as you can see, we know our Whirlpool creates a small circle that has little shark animations in there. But as it says, it cripples and it vortexes. So you'll see when I put this under the Emirs, they're going to start swirling. And it pulls them towards the center. Very convenient. So, why is this convenient, you might ask? Well, let's combo it up with our ultimate now, which is release the Kraken. So I'm going to get my targeter right under all 3, put the vortex down. Pretty powerful attack. And as we also saw, hitting them in the center of that Kraken will knock them up. Now let's see if we can get another near there. We're going to leave this guy out of the center. I'm going to push the ultimate over here, in fact. So when you don't hit them in the center, you'll notice he doesn't get knocked up. He will still take damage. Okay, so that circle's a lot bigger than I thought. Let's move it over a little bit more. There we go. As you can see, this Ymir here didn't take extra damage, and he also didn't get knocked out. So you do want to hit that in the center with your Kraken, with as many people as possible. Next, let's get our Tide up so we can see more activity with our 1. Go ahead and spread that. Oh, that extra damage really does come in handy from building your Tide. The other thing I want to show with Poseidon really quick is that you want to be using your 2 stem when attacking towers. So I'm going to go over here. Over to the wave, and I pop the speed to go, clean that up. As you can see, hitting multiple minions does clear up that does build up that Tide a lot faster. Now, as you can see, I'm hitting with 3 autos because of the smaller ones, only the center one counts. Just be aware of that when you're pushing towers. Ah! I don't know why I did that, just panicking. Taking damage, using my cripple to get away, but then also movement speed from my 2. That is a good thing to notice, though, if you are getting pushed or attacked by enemy gods and you know that they're coming and you have a choke here, you can use your Whirlpool and cover the entire spot here. Which is nice, but you'll want to get away from people. Knowing the small chokes in the jungle, that's a great way to get away. Look, and as you can see,
Stand down!
your 1 CC, 3 is also level 1 CC, and your ultimate.
First Quadra kill!
So Poseidon has a lot
Deicide.
of built-in ways to get away and stay safe. If you are fighting against the Poseidon, you definitely want to be on top of him more often than not. Just try to get him to use his abilities, and if you are playing Poseidon, be smart with your abilities. I would say don't just go spamming him, just throwing stuff out for free. Like, definitely use them strategically, keep yourself alive, and in battles more often. Alright, that's a short, quick guide for Poseidon. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, thanks for watching.